Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, a queen sat by her window sewing on a frosty winter day. As she worked on her new scarf or something, she pricked her delicate finger, and 3 droplets of blood fell into the snow-covered windowsill. She admired its contrast, the warm red seeping into the cold white. Entranced by the affair in front of her, a totally normal thought came to her. She wished for a daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as the windowsill. So she did the devil's tango, and 9 months later her wish came true, when she gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, who looks a lot like actress Rachel Zegler. Nevertheless, the queen named her new daughter Snow White. I guess the names Blood Red and Windowsill Black were taken. The king was overjoyed with the birth of his daughter, for now he had an heir to his throne. But this happy royal family was not destined to last, for the queen soon passed away. The king, wanting his daughter to grow up with a mother figure, eventually remarried. She was a woman of great beauty, but an even greater vanity. This woman looked a lot like actress Gal Gadot, and much like her, this new queen couldn't act. So she bought a mirror to improve upon her performance. But this was no ordinary mirror, for you see, there was a guy stuck in there. This mirror guy could answer any question asked of it, and would always answer truthfully. For example, if I were to ask, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the best human of them all?" the mirror would answer, "The viewer, of course, who liked this video is the best of them all." So, that's exactly what happened when the new queen would ask, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror answered truthfully, "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." The new queen turned this into a daily routine. Even when the king passed away and she became the sole ruler of the kingdom, she continued to get her ego stroked by the mirror. But as Snow White grew older, the mirror would change his answer to this daily question of the queen. You see, the mirror guy was a bit of a sleazeball. I mean, in one of my last conversations with him, he outright said that age is just a number. So when he caught a glimpse of the young princess, for him, her beauty had surpassed that of the queen. I mean, mirror guy is pushing at least 60 and he's out here perving on teens. So yeah, I stopped hanging out with him after that. The queen, doing her morning routine, asked her daily question again, and to her surprise, the mirror answered, "Snow White is the fairest of them all." Enraged, jealous, and filled with bloodlust, the queen ordered the strongest huntsman in her kingdom to take Snow White into the forest and end her life. But the huntsman, moved by the girl's innocence, could not bring himself to harm her. Instead, he told her to run far away and never return. So he left the young girl alone in a forest, presumably filled with wild animals like bears. Honestly, how did he think she would survive? She did? She survived? Oh, I guess bears are safer than men, huh? Eventually, she came across a small cottage belonging to 7 dwarves. The kind-hearted folk took her in, ending her time wandering in the not-so-dangerous forest. In the meantime, the queen asked her mirror again, who was the fairest. She was horrified to learn that Snow White still was. This could have only meant one thing. The huntsman had failed. The mirror then revealed Snow White's location. With a power like that, no wonder he turned out to be a perv. Determined to destroy her, the queen disguised herself as an old peddler and went to the dwarf's cottage. Now the dwarves had one rule for Snow White: never open the door for strangers. And when this unknown woman came knocking, Snow White immediately opened the door. The woman told her she's selling some odds and ends and convinces her into wearing a lace bodice. Snow White goes ahead and tries it on. The queen is delighted because she's not just here to give her stepdaughter fashion advice, she's here to kill her. The bodice is cursed, and as soon as Snow White wears it, it begins to tighten, and eventually she falls to the ground. The queen, now back in her castle, walks up to the mirror with a smirk and asks once again, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror replies, "Snow White is the fairest of them all," and shows her alive and well. Luckily, the dwarfs found her after the queen left and saved her by cutting the laces. The queen tried again, this time disguised as a different old woman, but she was worried that Snow White might not answer the door. An attempt on her life was made, so she'll be less to— and she opened the door again. The queen offers Snow White a poisoned comb. When she places it in Snow White's hair, she immediately falls to the ground. Again, the queen, back in her castle, walks up to the mirror with an even bigger smirk and asks again, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror replies, "Snow White is the fairest of them all," and shows her alive and well. The dwarfs found her and saved her by removing the comb. Furious, the queen made one final attempt. She crafted a poisoned apple, disguised as a kind old woman, marched back to the cottage. This time, she'll have to get Snow White to come to her. 2 attempts on her life have been made. There's no way she'll— and she opened the door again. The queen offers the apple to Snow White. As soon as the girl took a bite, she fell to the ground. The queen, back in her castle, storms up to the mirror with an angry look and asks again, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror replies, "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." Now the queen can finally be happy. Back at the cottage, the dwarfs found Snow White, but this time they could not save her life. They were heartbroken. If only she had listened to their one rule. Unable to bury her, they placed her in a glass coffin. This way they could watch over her and make sure she somehow doesn't open that damn door again. She lay there in eternal slumber. Until one day a prince happened upon the cottage and saw Snow White, and it was love at first sight. Struck by her beauty, he asked the dwarfs permission to take her with him. The dwarfs found this a little weird, but then again they put her in a glass coffin, so who were they to judge? As the prince's servants carried the coffin, they stumbled, and the piece of poisoned apple dislodged from Snow White's throat, and she instantly awoke. The prince, overjoyed, asked her hand in marriage, and she replied, "Yeah, why not?" The wicked queen, still unaware of Snow White's survival, asked her mirror her daily question, "Who was the fairest of them all?" The mirror replied, "The young queen is the fairest of them all." In her fury, the queen attended the wedding of this young queen, only to discover Snow White alive. Her crimes came to light, and she was punished for her wicked deeds. She was forced to wear red-hot iron shoes and dance until she fell dead. After that, Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after, and the kingdom was forever free of the evil queen's envy. The moral of the story is, never open the door for strangers, unless it's me telling you to like and subscribe. Oh, and all mirrors are perverts. Okay, bye!